Okay, our first example, I'm going to do two pieces here. I'll do an example A and an example B. Our first piece, I want to find the equation of a parabola with vertex 0, 0 and focus 0, 2. So that focus, that's that fixed point that's inside our parabola. My suggestion, before you really start working on trying to find what the equation is going to be, draw a picture. Okay, a picture makes this a lot easier. If I draw my picture here, I have my coordinate plane. The vertex of my parabola is 0, 0. So that's my turning point. The focus is 0, 2, which is up here. That fixed point, that focus is inside the parabola, which means my parabola has to go like this somewhere. Since my parabola is vertical, if I look right above here, my vertical parabolas are in the form y equals ax squared or y equals 1 over 4p x squared. Okay, my equation is y equals something. Well, since I know where my focus is, I know my focus is at 0, 2, I can figure out that focal length, that p value. Okay? So that focal length is 2 in this case. P is 2 because our focus is 2 away from our vertex. So if you look at our equation, that second form, y equals 1 over 4p times x squared. If p is 2, our equation is 1 over 4 times 2 x squared, which is y equals 1/8 x squared. All right, so if we have this equation of a parabola y equals 1/8 x squared, the focus is going to be at 0, 2, and the vertex is at 0, 0. If you are pretty solid with this, you don't necessarily have to watch part B, but part B, I'm going to do a sideways parabola. So it's up to you if you want to stop here, if you want to see part B. Part B is the same idea. I'm going to write the equation of a parabola, but in this case, I'm going to say the directrix is x equals -3, and the vertex is 0, 0. Draw a picture. Okay, that's really my biggest advice this whole chapter. Draw a picture so you can see how all this information is related. Start off with our coordinate plane. The vertex is 0, 0. The directrix is x equals -3. Well, that's a line, okay? X equals -3 is the equation of a line. And if it's in the form x equals, that means we have a vertical line. X equals -3 would be somewhere around here. So that tells me the directrix is always outside of our parabola. That tells me my parabola is sideways, going to the right, okay? Because my parabola cannot cross that directrix. All right, well, since I have a sideways parabola, let's think of our equation in the form x equals 1 over 4p times y squared. Okay, x equals because that'll give us our sideways parabola. Well, p is our focal length, our distance from the focus to the vertex. Well, let's think about what we know. Right now I know my directrix is at -3. And our vertex is at 0, 0. So what that really tells us is this length, this distance, is 3 away. And even though it's -3, it doesn't really matter. Okay, it's distance still. Well, this point on our parabola, keep in mind our definition of our parabola is every point that's the same distance to our directrix as it is to the focus. If I look at the vertex here, I'm 3 away to the directrix, which means I also have to be 3 away from the focus. So that focal length is 3 in this case as well. So plug 3 in for p. X equals 1 over 4 times 3 y squared. X is 1/12 y squared. And that's our equation for our sideways parabola with a directrix at -3, x equals -3, and vertex 0, 0.